The Yamal Peninsula in northern Russia, often called the end of the world, is one of the most remote regions on Earth where humans struggle to survive in extreme temperatures that can plunge to minus 60 degrees Celsius. Survival here is possible only by sheltering in simple tents. In this frozen land, the pulse of life of a people threatened with extinction in the modern era continues to endure. Yamal is the ancestral homeland of the Nenets, a nomadic community with a remaining population of around 70,000 people. Every autumn, they begin a long migration southward with their reindeer herds. Before winter arrives, they must reach the southern and relatively warmer parts of the peninsula in order to survive. The need for slightly more tolerable temperatures becomes a matter of life and death. Without this migration, they risk facing Russia's brutal cold, where temperatures can fall to minus 70 degrees Celsius. Because they do not live permanently in one place, the Nenets have no insulated or heated houses. Their only protection is a tent, warmed by fire made from gathered tree branches. In this unforgiving natural cycle, migration is the only path forward. They move south in winter and return north in summer, preserving a way of life passed down for centuries. As winter approaches, the Nenets and their reindeer once again prepare for the journey south. Frozen rivers they must cross have become increasingly fragile year after year due to global warming, turning the journey of hundreds of people and reindeer into a dangerous gamble. If the ice suddenly breaks, anyone can be dragged into water cold enough to freeze the body within moments. To reduce this risk, travel is done only at night, when lower air temperatures make the ice more stable. For the Nenets, the safety of their reindeer is worth more than any material possession. The destruction of the herd would mean the end of their own lives. For this reason, reindeer must never be placed in even the smallest danger. Despite careful preparation, the Arctic continues to thaw rapidly, and traditional migration routes are slowly disappearing. If they fail to migrate and become trapped in a limited area, the risk of freezing to death becomes real. Reindeer need southern grazing lands to survive the winter, as food is unavailable in the north. In contrast, during summer, natural instinct drives the herd back north. This migration cycle must be maintained. Without regular movement between the southern and northern parts of the Yamal Peninsula, the herds would scatter and flee in search of the summer pastures they have known since birth. The Nenets live within large, extended family structures. Each family forms a small community of around 40 to 50 people and manages approximately 200 reindeer. They do not live as one large group in a single territory, but rather as multiple nomadic families following the same way of life with separate herds. These reindeer herders are spread across different parts of the Yamal Peninsula. Each community has a leader who determines the timing and direction of migration. The head of the family holds full responsibility for the herd, and every decision must be followed by all members. Anyone visiting the Yamal Peninsula in Russia can clearly see that this land is, in essence, the territory of the Nenets. Like the people of Yakutia, the Nenets live within Russia, but they are not ethnically Russian. They are the original inhabitants of these frozen lands, long before the arrival of Slavic peoples. Today, their population is estimated to range between 60,000 and 70,000, with the largest concentration on the Yamal Peninsula. Their lives are almost entirely detached from the modern world. There is no dependence on smartphones, films, or television series. They know nothing of rent, monthly bills, or office jobs. Their lives are guided by ancestral traditions rather than the rhythm of modern civilization. For the Nenets, life means constant movement, pitching tents, and protecting the survival of both family and reindeer, which serve as their primary source of life. Nenets tents are built by joining wooden poles together. Each tent uses around 30 poles tied at the top and spread outward to form a circular base. The top of the tent remains partially open to allow smoke from the wood stove inside to escape. The structure is covered with at least 2 layers of reindeer hide. At the center, a wood fire is maintained to provide warmth and to cook food. When the fire is burning, temperatures inside the tent can reach 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, creating a livable space amid extreme cold. However, this warmth depends entirely on the availability of firewood. When the fire goes out due to lack of wood, temperatures inside the tent can drop below freezing. even with reindeer skins covering the structure. In the isolation of the Arctic, their only connection to the outside world is a simple radio that remains constantly on, serving as a small window to modern civilization. The Nenets' diet consists mainly of reindeer and rabbit meat. In northern Russia, where the land remains frozen for most of the year, vegetables can barely grow. As a result, meat is present in every meal, either eaten directly or cooked into soup using rich broth. Uniquely, the Nenets consume meat, both cooked and raw. When someone visits their tent, they are served not only warm dishes, but also fresh, uncooked meat. Unlike in Yakutia, this meat is not frozen. After an animal is slaughtered, the meat is eaten immediately while still fresh, almost always from reindeer. Like many Siberian communities, the Nenets obtain clean water by melting snow. Large quantities of snow are boiled in pots, and the resulting water is used for drinking and cooking. Whether this method is completely healthy remains debated, but in the Arctic, alternatives are nearly non-existent. In every Nenets settlement, there is always at least one man skilled in making sleds. These sleds are produced by order and sold to other regions of Russia in exchange for rubles. The money is used to purchase necessities that cannot be provided directly by nature. For this reason, alongside hunting and gathering firewood, Nenets men also build sleds. For them, sleds are an essential means of transportation. The larger the family, the larger the sled must be, and all sleds are pulled manually by the men. The Nenets continue to uphold ancestral beliefs passed down for thousands of years. Like many ancient nomadic societies, they practice pagan beliefs rooted in shamanism. Beyond daily activities, they perform spiritual rituals and funeral ceremonies according to these traditions. One ritual involves tying cloth to trees as a symbol of prayer, followed by the sacrifice of an animal that is eaten at the same site. Children are involved in these traditions from the age of 5 to ensure the continuation of belief. All rituals are led by a shaman, who is typically a woman. In shamanistic belief, the shaman is thought to bless, communicate with spirits, and cleanse people from evil influences. For bathing, the Nenets build a separate tent that is not used for sleeping. Inside, a wood stove is lit for several hours until the tent becomes warm enough. Snow is then brought in and melted over the stove to produce hot water for bathing. Because the process is long and exhausting, bathing is done at most once a week, and only when truly necessary. The Nenets do not have toilet facilities. As a nomadic community without waste systems, building a toilet inside the tent is impractical. For relieving themselves, they move away from the herd to secluded spots, usually behind trees or near rivers. Water is still required, and when rivers are frozen, snow must be melted and carried instead. In Nenets' life, using a toilet is often more difficult than bathing. The Nenets depend entirely on reindeer for food, clothing, and transportation. They do not raise cattle or sheep, as these animals are considered unsuitable for the extreme nomadic winter lifestyle. Reindeer are stronger, faster, and do not waste precious energy in freezing temperatures. Every aspect of Nenets' life revolves around this animal. Reindeer can run at speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour, even during the harshest winter conditions. In addition to reindeer, the Nenets also keep dogs. However, unlike in places such as Yakutia or Greenland, dogs are not used to pull sleds. Instead, they protect the community from wild animals in the Russian forests. At the same time, not all Nenets' children wish to follow the path of their ancestors. As they reach adolescence, many dream of leaving nomadic life behind and moving to cities. Rather than spending their days herding reindeer, pulling sleds, and living in tents, modern life is seen as safer, more comfortable, and offering clearer prospects for the future. Over time, this shift causes Nenets' culture to slowly fade toward an almost inevitable end. Aware of this threat, Nenets adults choose to resist in their own way. They form large families and have many children, hoping that even if some leave or do not survive, there will still be future generations to carry on their cultural heritage. Ultimately, the story of the Nenets reminds us that progress does not come without a cost. In a world racing toward modernity, some cultures slowly erode, not because they are weak, but because time itself is changing. From them, we learn that survival is not only about adapting to nature, but also about preserving identity, so it is not lost to time. And for those of us living in comfort, this story should inspire both gratitude and awareness that ever